Before I answer that, I think we should rename this entire recording interview for position of Viddsee Juree. Right, guys.
Yeah, I
Job
agree. And you should start the video with that quote precisely.
job interview, Oh man, that's so difficult.
Because you have for me, you have to see them first, right? To be able to tell like what type of um, um, short films come in.
Now I expect everything.
It may not be in the story that's original, but it's really more on how it's told, perhaps, and how it relates well to the community.
It's really about surprising us or showing that you can stand on your own 2 feet as a storyteller.
I mean, we can also look back to the short film being its own particular form. It has its own features, the duration or the requirement that the storytelling be very succinct, quite different from feature films, for example. And then also, it also allows for the possibility to be abstract or to be experimental even. So it would be interesting to see works that work the best of the features of this format, or either the length or the way of storytelling.
On top of surprising us, it's very important also for us to see the voice of the filmmaker, like where he or she is coming from, what does he or she wants to say about the society or the community or the world he or she lives in, and how to communicate that. At least from a producer's point of view, know maybe the limitations and the things that you have that you can make your short really well. Not that I would like them to limit their capabilities or the way they think or the way they conceptualize their project, but it's still important to look at the production aspect as well, not just on the artistic or just pure creative side.
From me, I'd say watch more films. Don't just make your film, but also watch more films. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn, or be surprised by what other filmmakers do. And you also have a sense of the trend, either from the history of cinema or towards the future. Like, you get a good sense of the industry. Think about the materials or the stories that you really have a connection to. Don't focus too much on, say, audience reception or what kind of film that audience want or judges want or festivals want, but focus on the materials that you have authenticity. I think that's very important. Something that you feel from the bottom of your heart, because it can only be good when you believe in it.
I would like to add to what Kiki mentioned about watching people's films. Find out what's happening, like check out who won or which films got accepted into the bigger festivals, which films won. And then from there, try to see which style or which type of films that you prefer or you think you are drawn towards. And then study those sets of filmmakers and their style of filmmaking. And then from there, not to outright copy them, but to develop your own style. But it's very important to watch films. It's very important to do your research first. And not just do films just because you want. And of course, research or watching films, please don't limit to Hollywood or Pixar or, just the popular ones. Unless, of course, that's the way you want to go. Like, if you really want to go mainstream. But if you want to try out the more artistic, the more festival-friendly or whatever, then study those types of shorts that get into those festivals.
I think short filmmakers should know that short films open doors to everybody. Your team, you as a director or producer or a writer or a DP. So if you feel that you have made a short film and it has opened doors, make another one so that it opens more doors. Have fun with it, but take it seriously also, because if a short film is testimony to your work as a craftsperson. If it's good, people will come to you, and hey, if it's not good, then do another one and another one, and I think it will really, really deem you established, right? And that can actually also open doors in the end. Short films are not just short films anymore. Now they are really door openers, if there was any word for that. I would say opportunistic. I think filmmaking actually has become and will be opportunistic. I mean it as a neutral phrase because I think it's also about giving people the chance to express themselves. On the negative side is that there are too many things out there that need curation, and we're just afraid maybe as filmmakers that the real ones will fall through the cracks. The filmmaking in the future is opportunistic, but it's good and bad. Yeah, if it's one word, I'll say opportunistic.
I would say resourceful. We try to find ways to go around how to cope with what's happening now and to work around it. We're forced to be creative in the way we craft our projects.
I guess at least this is my hope. I don't know whether it will be, but I hope it will be diverse. Because we are at an age when we've seen so many stories, franchises. We know audience, or at least some audience, are complaining the repetition of certain genres, films, stories. The demand for something that's new or more inclusive, the demand for stories that are more about, for example, marginalized characters or some subjects, people that seldom are touched on screen or portrayed on screen. I think the demand is going up, and I hope that we see more stories that are different, that are about different people.